Are we going to get a cryptocurrency super cycle, or is this the top and is the cryptocurrency bull run finished? Stay tuned because that's what we're going to cover in this video today. What's up guys, Dirk here from intelligentcryptocurrency.com. So if you're new to the channel, click that subscribe button, click the notification bell so that you do get alerts every time I make a new video. And if you want email notifications whenever I do upload a new video, simply click the first link in the description, sign up for my free crypto masterclass. When you sign up there, you get a free presentation, plus you'll get the details on how to join my Intelligent Cryptocurrency membership if you want. But additionally, every time I upload a YouTube video, you will get an email saying that there is a new video. So go ahead, click that link, sign up for the email list, and let's dive straight into today's content. Alright guys, so Bitcoin is back to $45,700 as I'm recording this video. And you know, a couple weeks ago, that would have been fantastic to say Bitcoin is at $45,000. But when it comes from $58,000, it is always a little bit concerning. And people are wondering, you know, what is going on with crypto? Is this going to be what some people are talking about as a cryptocurrency super cycle, where things are about to go absolutely parabolic and it's going to get way, way crazier than the boom of 2017? Or there's of course other people who are also saying, hey, this might be the top, this is over, it's going to crash. So what I'm going to do in today's video, I want to look at various facts, data points, and basically present the different sides of the argument to help try and figure out where in the cycle we are and what is left in terms of upside. And as you can see over here, this is basically just the daily chart of Bitcoin US dollar. And there is still nothing to be concerned about at this point. This correction down to $45,000, it could even go lower. You can see I have this box drawn over here. So this was the previous top, almost $42,000 before we had the last pullback. Then we rallied up. This was the huge news about Tesla, right? That big breakout to the upside, continued going higher. And it would be perfectly normal to actually retest this previous top, or maybe even spike down a little bit below it without destroying the bull trend or anything like that. And in fact, if you add on these indicators, which I'm really a fan of, just the regular exponential moving averages, so the blue is the 50 exponential moving average, you can see over here in this previous pullback how it halted the pullback. It based around here and we had a big run up. Now this average is sitting right there at about the previous top support, 42,000-ish. So there's a decent chance that that might actually hold as support as well. And then, you know, there's a lot more potential upside. So personally, I do feel, just sentiment-wise, based on nothing else but my experience in the markets, that we haven't had a parabolic blow-off yet at all in Bitcoin. And sure, it's run up from 10K to $58,000, right, in a matter of months. And sure, there's a lot of euphoria going on around it, but we haven't yet seen what I think is a parabolic blow-off, where things go absolutely crazy and we see Bitcoin go 20, 30, maybe $40,000 in a day. I think that might still be possible in this cycle. So I do think that the cycle is not yet complete. But as I said earlier, we will look at different arguments and different data points so that you can see why I'm saying this and you can make your own decision. Of course, I'm not a financial advisor. I can't see the future. So I'm purely sharing my opinion and the facts that I can see with you guys. Now, one thing to always remember: when in doubt, zoom out. Okay, if you look at the short-term time frames, the 4-hourly, the 1 hour, even the daily, things can start to look very overbought in the short term. It looks like things can't continue anymore. It's a little bit too crazy, and this might be it, right? And if you only look at the short-term time frames, you might actually get drawn into thinking that, hey, we actually might be closer to a top than we really are. So a good thing to always do is to look at the weekly and the monthly time frames from time to time, especially, like I said, if you're in doubt, zoom out to the bigger time frames and also change to a log scale. So this is weekly Bitcoin US dollar on the log scale, and you can see this really doesn't look as crazy as it looks on the daily without the log scale. And you can also see that based on the previous run, right, the 2016-2017 run, you can see that we might still have a lot more to go with this. And this is always important to look at. You can see the kind of the length and the trajectory. So if you take a parallel channel, draw it over these points, and over the top over here, it would completely not be impossible to reach the top of this channel. And as you can see, at this point in time, depending on where it might reach it, could be somewhere between $130,000, maybe $160,000 per Bitcoin. So basically, you know, it could potentially still 2, 3, maybe even 4x to reach the top of this channel. And you can see how this is being respected. You can change it a little bit, I guess, see how it's set, but you can see here, right, the resistance, the support over here. Again, we touched it, acted as resistance, dropped back down. This time we moved back above it, the center line, the dotted center line. It pulled back. That was the first correction that we had. Now we're moving higher. We've got a pullback. Maybe if that holds the $42,000 to $38,000, which I actually expect there's a good chance that it will hold it. You can see we might still have months left to go at this point. Let's move this down. This point over here, which would be the top. You can see May, June, if it just continues and it has a huge run up, by May or June, we could see Bitcoin at close to $150,000 if this trajectory continues, right? And I do think that is a very decent possibility. So, always good. When in doubt, zoom out. Let's go have a look at some other things. Now, one thing also to keep an eye on is sentiment, right? That is one of the most important things. Where in the market cycle are we? How are people in general feeling about crypto? And this is just one indicator, the alternative.me. You can see over here, currently fear and greed index is at 55. So it's very neutral, and it's actually, yeah, there's no crazy greed or anything with this recent sell-off that's kind of come down, right? You can see last week extreme greed, now we're back at just regular greed, 55, right? So also you want to try and gauge where is the general sentiment. Is everyone crazy euphoric about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, or are people starting to feel more fearful? The top might be in, maybe it's time to sell. And I really feel like in general the vibe that I get from just on average, my personal feeling with this is that people are actually kind of fearful that the bull run is going to end, especially people who have been around since 2017, 2018, who experienced that big crash. Those people are starting, from my sentiment anyway, my interactions with them, you know, we're a little bit more cautious. Hey, what's happening? You know, we might crash, might drop down 80% at any point. And I think that when people are having that sentiment in a broader scale, it basically means it's more likely that we're going to continue going higher, right? That is one of the traps from bear and bull markets, is if you've experienced a multi-year bear market, right, and you've drawn down and you've been underwater and in the red for so long, when the price finally starts getting close to your break even and you finally get a little bit in the green or a small profit, a lot of people that have held that long, just the emotional stress and you know, of holding a position in the negative for so long, it consumes your energy, right? Just to hold it and think about it and still down, still down, still down. For most people, they'll be happy to get out at break even or a small plus. And at that point, usually what happens is the markets, after they absorb that initial selling pressure from the bag holders from the previous cycle, usually the cycle goes way, way higher. And then those people that sold, that were happy that they finally got out of break even or a little plus, they start to feel so bitter because they basically held this for months or years. They got a small profit, but it could have turned into a small fortune if they had not sold. And then those same people, right, they miss the biggest run up after they sold out, and it just goes higher and higher and higher, and they have this crazy FOMO. And then towards the top, when things go really parabolic again, they've missed out on everything, they finally decide to FOMO back in, and the whole cycle repeats again. They bought the top again, and it crashes again. So be very careful of that. It's not a guarantee, but I think that psychological factor in the market cycle is going to play out again. So that is where we're seeing a lot of the 2017 coins. So let me hop over into the charts for a second. So that is, for example, where we see like the 2017 coins, right? Icon, so ICX, NEO, ARC. A lot of these coins are not even 50% of their all-time highs. There's a lot of people from 2017 who still bought these coins at way higher and are still underwater. So that also lets me think that we still probably have a lot more to go for the cycle where altcoins, especially 2017 coins and the good projects too, are probably going to revisit near their all-time highs or maybe even set new highs, right? So imagine, just as an example, ICX. Let's say people bought it $8, $9, $10. They've been holding for years, they're underwater, and eventually the price gets back there, 10, 11, 12. They're happy, they sell out, they got a little bit of profit. But imagine this starts going to like $20, $25 in this new cycle, which if you compare it to other coins is completely not impossible. Compared to Lend, which is now AVE, compared to Link, a lot of coins have already surpassed 2017 highs, right? Older coins, and Binance coin, for example, also. So if that happens, you know, maybe they sell out at like 8, 9, 10. When they get into a little bit of green, it goes to like 18, 20. They start to FOMO back in. They miss the whole big run up, and then, you know, at some point it'll crash again. So again, I think this is a good indicator to look at some of these old 2017 coins. I mean, we can look at Neo 2, for example. You can see it's still not even 50% of the old high, right? The old high was just over 200. 100 would be 50%. So it's basically only 25%. So once, I think that's also a good indicator to watch. Once these 2017 style coins start getting near the all-time high in US dollar value, I'm not talking about BTC value, in US dollar value, then it might start being a sign to get more cautious. But at this point in time, because they're still so low, I think that is a potential indicator to say, hey, we've still got more to go in this bull run. And this can go quick, right? This can happen in a matter of weeks, maybe even months, where it just runs straight up. So it can happen very quick. It doesn't necessarily mean that we've still got a year or 2 years or whatever left of this bull run, right? It could literally happen in weeks. It could shoot up straight back to that high. So that is another indicator I'm looking at. Let's look at some charts also on Twitter. So this is from @ChartsBTC on Twitter. I recommend you do follow them. They put out a lot of good info and charts. So you can see over here, this was the previous 2 cycles. So the blue cycle was the 2013, the red cycle was the 2017 cycle, and the white is where we are currently at. So you can see the days above the prior cycle all-time high. So the time that Bitcoin broke above the previous all-time high, which was roughly $20,000, that is when this counter started. And you can see in the previous 2 cycles, that was, you know, more than 270 days. That was more than 240 days. We are currently, this is from 22 Feb, but we are currently just over 60 days from that point. So if these 2 previous cycles repeat in any way, even if it gets close to that, you know, we might still have a couple of months left for this cycle to play out and for things to go way, way higher. So all these factors combined, right? The fact that you look at the log scale and there's potential upside there, the sentiment is still not as crazy, the previous cycles, you know, you put all this stuff together and then it starts to paint a picture where there's a decent chance that we still have more to go. You never know, it's never guaranteed, okay, things could end tomorrow, but you know, we're looking at probabilities. So looking at some more charts, again from Charts BTC. So this was the 2012 to 2016, this was the 2016 to 2020. And now we are at the previous cycle over here, and you can see that how it's basically mirroring this previous cycle very, very closely. And again, this was the cycle peak, so we're only here. So again, that shows that we could still have more time to go. Here's another chart to look at. It's basically all the same kind of similar stuff, where it's just different ways of presenting this data. And you can see the previous cycles over here and how it's been perfectly mirroring it to this point. And this green line is the stock to flow by $100 trillion. We'll look at his chart in a second. But again, it's been perfectly mirroring it to this point. So it's not a guarantee that it will, but it's probably likely that this is going to continue. And again, that peak was late 2017, 4-year cycle. We're in 2021. Maybe this continues to run in exactly the same way as 2013, 2017, and the cycle peaks towards the end of the year. Again, it's not guaranteed. It could change at any point in the next few weeks, months, days, who knows. But so far, it's been perfectly on track, and that is a possibility that you have to consider. So this is Plan B at $100 trillion on Twitter. Again, if you don't follow him, you should probably follow him. A lot of good info here, especially around the stock to flow model. And you can see the stock to flow model is so far, it's been followed perfectly, right? It overshoots it, stays within it, overshoots it, stays within it. And if this is going to continue, again, no guarantees, but so far it's perfectly on track. If this continues, then it's going to follow this and it's going to overshoot it at some point, which again would indicate to Bitcoin going over $100,000 per Bitcoin in this cycle, possibly this year. Another thing I want to show you is in the 2017 bull run, again, this is Bitcoin dollar on the weekly, there were multiple pullbacks of 30 to 40%, right? 38, 38, 33, 38, 36, 29. Nothing goes up in a straight line. So we've already seen a 30% correction recently when we went from 42K to 28K roughly. And now we're also seeing another correction. So just because the market is down 20, 30, 40% does not mean the bull run is necessarily over, okay? It could be a correction. Then another really good site for a lot of information, look into bitcoin.com/charts. At this point, it's completely free. There's a lot of different charts and indicators here that you can look at also to help you determine where sentiment, where in the cycle are we, and stuff like that. So this one specifically, the pool multiple, the PUL, I don't know how to pronounce it, but basically it shows you here the green band is the perfect time to be able to buy, right? When the PUL multiple drops into that green zone. But the red zone is typically when we have peaks in the crypto bull run, right? You can see over here, this was around 2013, way into the red. 2017, the peak, way into the red. You can see over here, we are not yet in the red. So again, this is just another indicator, another tool that is saying, hey, we are not yet in those previous mania peak territory yet, according to this. So that gives another decent chance that we still have further upside to go, or the potential is there anyway. Once it starts going into the red and we start getting, near these kind of levels, then it's time to start getting cautious. Here's another different tool, the Bitcoin Investor tool, the 2-year MA multiplier. And again, it shows you the previous data, what happened, right? So you can see these nice green and red bands over here. When it goes below the green band, perfect buying opportunity, right? You can see over there. When it goes above the red one, hey, well, that's when peaks happen, right? Peak, 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 peak above the red. We are currently sitting against that and we are not yet above that, right? So again, something to watch. Once it starts getting above there, combined with all the other things that I've talked about today, that is when we start looking for, hey, this could actually be a top, and that is maybe when we need to start getting out. Again, it's not a guarantee, right? Everything could change tomorrow, it could all crash. But based on all this stuff put together, it really does seem like there is still more room for upside, and it is likely that we are going to continue and still have, I don't know how long, maybe a couple months, at least several weeks left of the cycle, and that this this Bitcoin correction at this point in time is just a correction in a continuing bull run that still has the parabolic blow-off phase to come. And you can see over here when you look at this, so if we look at here, this from $218 and the top was $1,000, right? So that's still a 4x the parabolic move once it gets above it, right? Over here, $47 to 186, it's still more than 4x, right? Here, the same thing. So from 7,600 to 20K, right? Almost a 3x once it gets back above that. So the parabolic, the latest phases of the bull run cycle are often the most explosive, and that's where we see the biggest gains in Bitcoin, but also especially in altcoins. So like I showed you the charts earlier, the 2017 coins like ICX, Neo, ARC, they aren't even yet at 50% of their previous all-time highs, which once again leads me to believe that we still have more time in the cycle, and the biggest moves, the biggest potential to make huge gains still lie ahead of us in that parabolic move, both in Bitcoin, but especially in altcoins. So if you enjoyed this video, please smash the like button, turn it blue, it really helps the algorithm. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so, click the notification bell, and if you want to get email alerts whenever I upload a new video and you want to stay up to date on my updates, click the first link in the description below. Sign up for my free crypto masterclass. You get an hour presentation filled with value about where I think crypto is going and how to profit from this bull run. And also at the end, if you want to join my intelligent cryptocurrency community, private Discord chat groups, get access to my newsletter and all the courses and training that I have, there will be an invitation for you to join at the end of the presentation. But either way, just to get email updates whenever I upload a new video, just sign up for the masterclass, enter your name and email, and you will get that email every time I upload a YouTube video. So thanks for watching, guys. Exciting times ahead. The next couple weeks, the next couple months should be very promising for cryptocurrencies, and I really hope that we are indeed going to go way, way higher from here, because it will be very profitable. So thanks for watching, have an awesome weekend, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.